Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I welcome you all to the very first class of corporate restructuring. So, hi, my name is Divay Miglani, and I'll be taking your subject for corporate restructuring, valuation, and insolvency. Your module number 1 and paper number 3. So, this is considered to be the most technical subject. One of the most technical subjects in the history of CS professional. So, my dear students, and let me tell you, being a technical subject is not that much difficult. It's an easy part to score 60 to 65 marks very easily by just merely understanding the concept. CR for the life of a company secretary is like, how many of us used to get a chance to build our own houses? I'm not talking about purchasing, I'm talking about building an house. How many of us? Okay, let us talk about purchasing an house. How many of us used to get that chance? Sir, very rarely. Once in a lifetime, or that can be, more than twice if you are, settled in some CRs. So, what happens generally that such kind of chances are given to each and every individual once or twice, or not maximum, more than 5 times ever in a life to get their house constructed, to construct a house, except that person is a builder, except that it's a part of business for him. So what generally happens, the same thing continues in the life of a company secretary. They very rarely get a chance to do this, but once they get the chance to do this, you people can't even expect that what are going to be the changes in your lives. That will be amazing. Your pay scale, your reputation, your knowledge, each and everything is going to be jumped from the very first step to the last step itself. By just handling a public issue, by just handling a merger, amalgamation, such kind of things which are needed at a very higher level. By doing such kind of things, you people can attain, reputation, thanks, fame, money, at a very huge level. Sir, what are you talking about? Okay, let's come to the subject. Let's talk about the subject. So first of all, it's very rare and it's really very much technical. Apart from that, let's move to the subject now. So this is going to be, sir, module number 1. This is module number 1 and paper number 3. So corporate restructuring is going to be there for 50 marks. Valuation is going to be there for 30 marks. And insolvency is going to be there for 20 marks. In this class today itself, I am going to tell you each and everything about the subject. Each and everything about the subject means whatever the essentials which are required for understanding a particular subject, we'll be discovering each and everything. The people who are also taking drafting from me, we used to do that. Generally what happens before a cricket match, being a third umpire, you used to have a look at each and everything. So the same thing that gets continued over here. We'll be looking after each and everything which is related to corporate restructuring, valuation and insolvency. We'll be discovering about the coverage. We'll be talking about the coverage, the weightage of chapters. Apart from that, the exam pattern, how to present yourself. Such kind of things will be done over by today itself. So as I was talking with you people, as we were talking previously, that constructing an house, what does that mean? Okay, let's take this part as the very first one. So what is this? This is corporate. Let's understand that what does it mean by a corporate restructuring? What does that mean actually? Corporate, sir, means company. For CR, corporate means company. Whatever we'll be studying over here will be related to company only. Nothing is going to be related to firm, LLP, AOP, BOI. Nothing is going to be related to any of the things. Now, what is restructuring? What is restructuring? Okay, let me show you some of the images at which we have seen in the previous aspects also. So it is here. So let me show you that. So what is this? This is generally an house which is an old house. And old house means a house which is basically, one of the, previous age constructions. And after that, this is basically, what is this? This is a structure of an house. Structure of an house. Now, what I have done, I have started constructing this house. I have started constructing this house. So what I am doing, I'm just changing the structure of this house. What I'm doing, changing the structure of this house, and now I'm making it as this house. Wow. Really amazing, na? So what I have done, I have changed the structure of this house to this house. So what we generally used to call it as restructuring. Restructuring. So what is that? I have changed the total structure of the house, right? Now, let's move ahead. So, the next thing is, this is how a room is supposed to be. Being a boy, we used to have our rooms like that, which is totally messed up. Even something is going to enter into our room, he or she can easily identify it's a boy's room. So, each and everything, as you can figure out over here, and so many things, all of them are totally messed up. Totally needs to be arranged. Now, what I have done, I have arranged things, I have removed each and everything which were unnecessary, and after that, I have made this looking like this. Oh wow! So what is this? What I have basically done? I have done a restructuring over here. I've done a restructuring over here, which was done externally, which was done from outside. And apart from that, here I have done what I have done over here. I have rearranged some things. I have rearranged a lot of things which were related to the room itself. And now this room looks like this. Wow. Right? So, let's go ahead and let's talk about restructuring. So, what is restructuring? Restructuring is basically rearranging. We have rearranged the whole room. Rebuilding. We have rebuilt the whole building. As I have shown you, what was that? That was an old house that has been constructed into a new house. So what we have done? We have done rebuilding, rearranging whatever the stuff that was available in the room. We have done? We have rearranged it. Apart from that, reordering. I'm not going to talk over here about share capital, creditors, members. We are going to understand just the term restructuring. What does that mean? After that, once we'll be done with that, after that we are going to move core into the technical part. Once we'll be doing that, that will be great. Now, here, the total meaning of this word, corporate restructuring, is totally concerned with changing the organizational structure. Changing the organizational structure. I'm sorry for that. So what I'm basically doing, I'm changing the organizational structure. That is done in two parts, externally or internally. Externally or internally. Apart from that, this is the part which covers 50 marks. Not only these things, of course, we are company secretaries, we are not contractors that we are going to build house, or we'll be learning that how a house needs to be built. We'll be learning over here about mergers, amalgamations, takeovers. They are so huge things that we have heard about it in our lives so many times, but when it comes to implement them, they are core technical. They are core technical. So valuation. When it comes to valuations, it includes valuation techniques. So what is valuation generally? Okay, it includes valuation techniques and aspects. What is valuation? Let us suppose that I have a bike. Being a student, I had a bike all the time, and sometimes, okay, now it's really prevalent these days. The people used to have that scooty. So what generally happens? If I am going to sell that, or if I am going to get my bike exchange or my scooty exchange, what I'll do first? I'll value that what is the exact value of my scooty at this present scenario, right? So what I'll do is, listen, what I'll do is, oh, don't get scared, yeah, I'm not that much scary. So what I'll do once, if I have already planned that I am going to sell my scooty or I get it exchanged, or I mean whatever I'm going to do something change in the ownership itself. Then what I'll do, first of all, I'll try to ascertain the value. So I'll strictly go to the dealer or whatever the criteria he follows, and after that I'll straight away ask them, so what is basically the value of the scooty or this bike at present? Let us suppose he says, okay, that will cost 40,000 rupees at present. Okay. After that, I'm going to decide a lot of things. So in order to decide that value, a lot of techniques and aspects are there which needs to be undertaken. And apart from that, there are some different strategies. They are generally done by a company in cases of public offer. What is a public offer? You know that? Oh, seriously? We will learn about public offer when shares are issued to public. We recently come to know about a lot of IPOs that company used to issue shares to Public at large. Shares are issued to public. They are issued. The people who are willing, they can purchase, they can subscribe to shares. That generally depends upon the issue size and a lot of things. So public offer, apart from that, right issue. You know what is a right issue? You know what is the right issue? So what is right issue? Right issue is basically when shares are issued to existing shareholders. And are they given for free? No, they are not given for free. They are given for something, for a value. Apart from that, there are some things like delisting. There are some things like merger and acquisitions. Merger and acquisitions. What is this? Okay, how many of you have a number of Vodafone? Okay, I'll discuss a lot of things. Do people have that Vodafone? Vodafone was earlier Hutch. Do you know that? That was Hutch earlier. Do you know that? Now it got merged with Idea. Do you know that? No, sir. We don't know. Seriously, you people don't know that Vodafone got merged with Idea. You don't know about that. Okay, I'll tell you about some of the most common mergers and amalgamation, most common merger acquisitions. So apart from that, insolvency. Sir, now there is a major change over here by coming of insolvency and bankruptcy code. Bankruptcy code 2016. This has made a major change in the syllabus of corporate restructuring, along with the notifications related to, notifications, the changes which are brought into force by the composition of NCLT, NCLAT, and a lot of things. So whatever the changes are, and along with this part, the most terrific part, insolvency and bankruptcy code, this has came into picture, and this has made a change into your syllabus from the previous exam as compared to 60 to 70%. Okay, so now this IBC has made changes in Companies Act. Changes in Companies Act 2013. Plus, it has replaced, as per our syllabus, there are a lot of things, it has replaced a lot of things, and it has replaced SIC Industrial Companies Act. SIC Industrial Companies Act. So, 1975. So this has been replaced. SICA, which forms a part of syllabus when we were students. If you find it over there, definitely you are going to find it over there in the institute's module itself. So this is a part which has been replaced by insolvency and bankruptcy code, and you need not to study it again. Okay? Got it? So in spite of this SICA, this we generally used to call it as SICA. In spite of this, we will be studying in insolvency and bankruptcy code 2016. Now, let's move ahead. That what are the important topics, what are the weightages, and what are the other things which needs to be valued in order to crack our exam and in order to score 60 to 65 marks easily. Just by understanding the concept up to a proper depth level, you people will be able to understand each and everything and crack your exam. Now, let's move ahead. Let's talk about the parts. That what are the parts which strictly needs to be taken care of. Okay, should we go ahead? Should we talk about the parts? So, first of all, let's talk about corporate restructuring. So, the first one is corporate restructuring, which is there in your examination for 50 marks. So, first of all, it comprises of a lot of things, and it is really very important. First of all, it has an introduction. Introduction basically comprises of of each and everything which is related to the corporate restructuring, in which we'll be studying that what are the modes, what are the types, what are the things related to corporate restructuring, why it is required, why people go for international, what are the basic ones. We'll be studying about each and everything related to corporate restructuring, and the starting approximately 5 classes will be devoted to this chapter, and how this is taught there in examination for approximately 4 to 5 marks. This is going to be there in examination. Now here comes the most important part, merger and amalgamation. So merger and amalgamation, exactly, please pause yourself over here. So whatever are the meanings of this, we'll be discussing that in the chapter itself. Till the time, please control the emotions which you have in your mind and your body, or whatever the things are there. So whatever the types of things are going to be there, merger and amalgamation, we'll be discussing that once we will be there into the chapter itself. Now, merger and amalgamation, sir, this is going to be there in your examination for minimum 25 to 30 marks. 25 to 30 marks. Yes. Demerger and reverse merger. So this is basically these two topics have been clubbed and they will be there in your examination for 25 to 30 marks. Okay. Demerger is basic. Okay, let me tell you what is merger amalgamation. I mean merger. Let's talk about merger over here. Merger is basically A limited plus B limited is equal to A limited. So what happens over here? This company has been totally absorbed. This company has been totally absorbed by another company. Once it is absorbed, you will come to know about it. It's a merger. Amalgamation is generally, when it comes to amalgamation, sir, amalgamation is A limited plus B limited is equal to C limited. What happens over here? A new entity is formed. This is a very basic difference between merger and amalgamation. Both of the things are not defined in Companies Act 2013. We have taken the definitions from Income Tax Act and many more acts. So this is the basic difference. In merger, there is fusion of one company. I'll tell you that what is the right language that needs to be written in examination. So apart from that, what is demerger? Let us suppose demerger is something like A limited is equal to A limited plus B limited. Splitting your company into two parts is basically demerger. Dividing them into two parts. Let us suppose that I have a company. What that company generally do? Oh, let me catch up something. Let me check something. Okay. So let us suppose I have this pen in my hand, right? I'm talking about this pen, not this one. So what my company generally used to do, my company used to manufacture this pen, and along with that, my company used to manufacture this water bottle. Can you see this water bottle? Okay. So along with that, what my company used to do, both of the things are carried out by A limited. What now A limited has done? A limited has transferred this part to B limited. A limited has given the part number B, I mean the second operation, the second main business to B limited. That has been given to B limited, and A limited has retained with this part of doing what? Of manufacturing pens. Now A limited is manufacturing pens, and the part of that second business which relates to manufacturing bottle has been transferred to B limited. So what is that basically? I am basically splitting of the businesses into two parts. I have basically transferred the business into two parts. So what was the first one? First one was I have retained one with myself and transferred second one to my second unit. So that was demerger. So that is demerger, and apart from that, so the next one is takeover. This is generally the most common term which we used to have heard about. I mean, in news, in movies, most of the times, that what is a takeover, and takeover is going to be in your examination for 15 to 17 marks. Now, apart from that, so here comes the legal documentation. Legal documentation. Whatever the legal documentation is going to be, we'll be studying them along with the topic itself. It's nothing like that. Once we'll be done with the topic, then we'll come to the legal documentation. Once we'll be covering them along with the topics itself. Okay, we'll be covering them along with the topics. So legal documentation. Apart from that, there are some parts from Companies Act now. You'll be feeling happy for them. It's buyback. Alteration and reduction of capital. Alteration and reduction of capital. So buyback and alteration and reduction of capital, these two topics will be there in your examination to 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, get it? So these two parts which you have already covered in Companies Act 2013, you know about them really very well, and we'll be discussing them also over here with the perspective of corporate restructuring. You were considering them from the part of Companies Act, exactly. Now here we'll be discussing them from with the preview of alteration and reduction of capital. So apart from that, sir, now here comes the funding of merger amalgamation. I mean the two companies, let's suppose that I'm going to replace these two names with Reliance plus Aircel. So I mean there are a lot of funds. Clubbing two companies is not as much as simple it looks like. Clubbing the assets having a worth of rupees 2000 crore rupees. How you are going to do that? It's really very difficult. So my dear students, please focus over here that I mean clubbing these two things is not an easy task, first of all. That requires a lot of things. It requires proper due diligence which needs to be carried out at each and every step related to each and everything. Once you will be starting the merger amalgamation, I'll tell you that what are the acts which needs to be covered, and we'll be basically focusing on each and every act. Alteration and reduction of capital, apart from that, funding of merger and amalgamation. Funding of merger and amalgamation. So this will be there for 1 to 2 marks. Generally, this is not, going to be for there. This is generally clubbed with one of the questions, and it is, presented in the examination. Apart from that, so the last is post-merger amalgamation. So what does this basically talks about? This talks about that once this merger amalgamation, this amalgamation, or this demerger, whatever we are talking about, whatever the concerned topic is, once that is done, what will be the consequences after that? Once that is done, what are going to be the consequences? Okay, so what happens after merger amalgamation? How the company will be carried? What about the registrations which you got in excise, customs, and many other things? What will happen to the registrations? Will that registrations be over there in the name of A Limited or B Limited? And if what will happen with the registration of B Limited? What will happen with the registration of A Limited? Does it need to get renewed? Does it need to include the registration of B Limited? All those things will be included over there, and we'll be discussing about each and every preview of each and every merger amalgamation. So this will be there in your examination again for 2 marks. Sir, it's more than 50 marks. Okay, got it. Let me get there at the exam pattern. There you will understand that for how many marks the corporate restructuring exam is going to be, for how many marks the valuation paper is going to be, and for how many marks the insolvency paper is going to be. Okay, so please wait for some time. And please, in this class itself, I'm telling you, please, in my classroom at least, you should learn that how you need to use print screen. Now, let's go ahead, let's talk about, we are moving very slow because it's the very first class. So, the next part is valuation, which is there for 30 marks. So, in valuation, they are basically, what we need to include is valuation techniques, which we have written in the previous topic as well, techniques and aspects. Along with that, different strategies. This is going to be there in your examination for approximately 18 marks, and this is going to be there for 12 marks. Okay, so whole paper is going to be there for 30 marks, and out of that there will be 2 practical questions. 2 practical questions minimum. Apart from that, next, sir, is insolvency, which is there for 20 marks. Here comes that which is totally, has changed the preview, the perspectives which were people earlier had about corporate restructuring. This has made a significant impact on the economy. Let me tell you about some of the most interesting facts. In India, to resolve one of the insolvency cases, how many of you have heard about Vijay Mallya? We know that really very well. He's not there in India now. But in order to resolve a single insolvency case, sir, it takes more than 5 years in India. More than 5 years. Oh, really, sir? Yeah, exactly. It takes more than 5 years. When it comes to Japan, sir, just 1 year. Finland, 0.6 year. That means 6 months. That's it. This has been made just to give you some things. I mean, so that the money will not get turned into bad debts and the person will not leave India. You know what happened when it comes to Vijay Mallya? On the March of 2nd, on the March of 8, 2016, the court has issued order that let's arrest Mr. Mallya. And they just came to know about that on March 2nd, 2016, Mr. Mallya has already left India. So what was that? Just because of the delay in proceedings again and again, delay. So what happens? The money got structured. That has been turned into bad debts. Moreover, what happened? The money got structured and the person is not in India now. You cannot punish him. So they come up with an idea. Sir, the fast track insolvency process now, which is going to resolve that insolvency process within a period of 180 days. 180 days. For some things, that is 90 days also. So two kind of processes have been given over there. And now, here comes the most important part, which is going to form a part of your interview also. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. 2016. This is going to be there minimum for 5 marks. It is expected. This has made a major change and we can expect it for 5 marks. So, recovery of debts. Recovery of debts due to banks and financial institutions. Financial institutions. So, this is going to be there, sir, 1993, and this has been there for 7 marks. 7 marks. Yeah. Apart from that, there is one act which we call as SuperProfs Act. SuperProfs Act 2002. So hope you people know about this act. I mean, you are in CS professionals now. You know about this act? SuperProfs Act, you don't know? Seriously? Securitization and reconstruction of financial assets. Don't know about that. Okay, we'll discuss about that later on. Let us take it as a climax. Apart from that, SuperProfs Act, this is going to be there in your examination for 12 marks. It is expected. Apart from that, winding up. Sir, winding up will be covering about from Companies Act 2013 and IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. We generally used to call it as IBC. ABC, not ABC, it's IBC, IBC 2016. We'll be covering the provisions from both of them. Then what are the provisions for winding up? You know what winding up? Winding up, the process of closing a company, the process towards the dissolution of a company. Let's suppose I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to do like this. So what happens? Till now that there is something which, what we used to call as, I'll like, please save me, please save me. So what is that generally? That is the process of winding up and to the actual death. That was dissolution is basically the death of the company. And now, apart from that, there is cross-border insolvency. Cross-border insolvency, or else you can call it as global insolvency laws. Global insolvency laws. So winding up is there to be, you can expect it for 5 to 6 marks again. And apart from that, over here, this can be there for 10 marks. This was there. So these are just estimations when it comes to 20 marks. Anything can be done from there itself. Okay. The paper is straight away going to be for 20 marks. We have taken the weightage that is somehow extra. So, but still, this is going to be for 20 marks and you need to focus on a lot of things over here and you cannot avoid them. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about the examination pattern now. That how it is going to be there in examination, how our exam is going to be there. So sir, exam pattern is going to be there. First of all, it's part A. Question number 1. First of all, there should be attempt all questions. No extra questions are going to be there. No extra questions which are going to provide you choice. You will not be getting any kind of choice in your examination. Seriously, sir? Says there is something wrong. Exactly. Such kind of languages have been written by ICSI most of the time. But what generally happens? Question number 1. This is going to be there for 5 marks into 4. This is 20 marks and this is compulsory. Now here comes question number 2. Question number 2, either you can attempt 2 or you can attempt question number 2A. This is going to be there for 15 marks. Now, the next is question number 3. Sir, again this is compulsory, there will be no choice. So this is going to be total for 50 marks. Out of a paper of 65 marks, you have to opt for 50 marks. Got it? You'll be getting choice only over here, either to attempt 2 or 2A. Got it? Got it? Yes or no? Okay, apart from that, now let's go towards part B. Part B here talks about question number 4. Part B here is for 30 marks. Exactly, the insolvency part. It's insolvency. My handwriting is really poor. Hope you people can understand. So it's 5 into 3. And again, question number 5 says 5 into 3. It's for 15 marks and it's again for 15 marks. This is going to be there for 30 marks without any choice. So over here in these 3 questions, 2 are going to be practicals. I told you now that there will be 2 practicals in valuation. From there they're going to be a part of question number 5. In that 3 parts are going to be there. And from these 3 parts, 2 are going to be practicals. That is for sure. In any sequence, that can be 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, or whatever the scenario is going to be. There will be 2 practicals and 4 questions are going to be core theory. So, sir, now part number C, which talks about insolvency. This is for 20 marks. Either you can attempt over here question 6 or question 6A. Now, this is going to be there for 20 marks. I mean, you need to attempt for 20 marks out of 40 marks. So, got it? The question paper is going to be there an examination for 40 marks for insolvency, but you have to attempt only 20. So, now the weightage and on which you people have doubted me, you can, look it after them and you can easily figure out that our faculty is not, he's not around. You can easily figure out, whatever the things which we were discussing, that's not wrong. Look, 5 plus 7, 12, 12 plus 12, 24, 24 plus 6, 30 plus 10, 40. So paper is going to be there for 40 marks, right? And you have to attempt 20 marks. Am I a fool? Is something written over here? No? Then please try to trust your faculty. Yeah, I know I'm in creator. You people are studying something. Whatever the things are going to be, we'll be covering each and everything. Be rest assured about that. Okay? Now, let's come to the very important part. My dear students, last month of the year, December 2016, a notification was released by ICSI that Companies Act 1956 shall not apply. Shall not apply to CR. Okay, whatever is going to be there in examination shall be straight away from Companies Act 2013. Nothing is going to be there which will form a part of Companies Act 1956. Each and everything concerned over here will be a part of Companies Act 2013 only. Only means only. Nothing is going to be there which shall form a part of Companies Act 1956. You can Google it and you can find out this notification. If you are unable to get it, just raise a doubt. I'll forward that link. Okay. So now, listen to me very carefully. What happens when it comes to examination? We used to have students in our classes. A student who can score 60 marks, and sitting just on another side of that student, there's a student who can, after a lot of things, after a lot of hard work, that person can score only 40 marks. So what is the reason behind that? What is the logic behind that? Anybody? Anything? So the logic behind them is, sir, lack of presentation. You know about concepts, you know about each and everything, but it's really shocking when the answer sheet comes and we used to have a look at them. Okay, so this is the answer sheet, and we used to have like that. Each and everything forms a part of class. A person can easily score 60 to 70 marks, but in spite of that, don't know what student has written. Don't know what's went wrong with you people when you are there in examination. So now listen. Let us suppose I'll start introducing myself. Hi, my name is Divay Miglani. Hi, I am Divay Miglani. Hi, myself, Divay Miglani. So what are the things? I mean, each and everything is correct. Each and everything, the way of presentation should be correct all the time. This is what examiner is looking for from you people. I still remember the time when I was a student in class 11. So what generally happens, I mean, the teacher used to approach us and she used to tell us that, okay, so what is happening at this time, at the time when I was in 11th standard. So what used to happen at that time, that our teacher used to tell us, okay, so the question is that I have raised a question that what is your name, and you are answering, sir, ma'am, I put up in Delhi. Okay, that is also correct, but please answer the question. You have not understood what the question is basically looking for, what the examiner is basically looking for. For that, first of all, sir, please read the question very, 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 very carefully. If you want to understand, if you want to score good marks, read the question carefully and ascertain that what that is looking for. If I don't know what question is looking for and I'll start writing, that is not a BCom exam, yaar. Come on. You people will be company secretaries. If I'm going to ask you, okay, so can you please tell me the way towards Connaught Place in Delhi? You'll start talking about Taj Mahal. I'll say, hey man, what's wrong with you? So that's the same thing, that's the same expression which examiner gives. That we people have been asking again and again that please tell us that what is the way to Delhi, and you are telling us about Taj Mahal, Agra. I mean, come on. He's just like, oh, I don't know. The student knows anything, but that student knows anything. He knows each and everything, but still, in spite of that, you don't understand the question. That's the main reason. So, first of all, you should learn that how to present answer. For that, first of all, sir, please understand exact meaning of question. Exact meaning of question. I know you people are not foreigners, that English, we have been taking classes into English. It's okay, but we can understand that really very well. That I mean, being an Indian, we used to have Hindi in our hearts, and from the childhood onwards, we used to get our things from Hindi itself. It's okay. We people cannot assume ourselves as Britishers that we'll be talking about each and everything in English, and that we are able to understand what the question says. Oh, I'm sorry. So, first of all, you should understand the exact meaning of question. If you are unable to understand, convert that into Hindi. Convert it into Hindi into your mind. Do not write that onto the paper. Convert that into Hindi. You can write draw flowchart. Draw flowchart. And later on erase it, please. And erase it. So let us suppose the question is being you are appointed in ABC Private Limited. Okay, let us suppose it's ABC Limited. The board of directors want to seek an advice. Okay, BOD is looking for an advice on how they need to alter MOA and AOA. If company wants to enter MOA and AOA, needs to be altered. Okay, so as they wanted to enter into a new business. They want to enter into a new business. That is a part of Companies Act. I have not raised a question related to CR. The reason being, I know this is going to be a new subject and you are not familiar with this. So let us suppose the question comes in examination like this. That let us suppose that you are appointed in ABC Private Limited. The board of directors want to seek an advice that how they need to alter memorandum and articles of association as they want to enter into a new business for the betterment of company. And apart from that, please suggest some steps related to how that business can be entered. What are the modes of entering into that business? So into that business, apart from that, he has taken you to tools of MOA and AOA, M&A, merger and acquisitions. So what is that? Generally, by looking at the flow chart, you people can easily find out here that what he is looking for. First of all, he is looking for how you need to alter MOA and AOA. He is looking for this. After that, you need to tell them about the tools of merger and amalgamation, how a new business can be entered. That can be done by merger and amalgamation, that can be done by takeover, that can be done by franchising, that can be done by joint ventures, that can be done by foreign collaboration agreements, that can be done by a lot of things more. So what we need to do, we need to understand the question very carefully. Apart from that, now, how you need to write? First of all, mention section. Write section only if you are 200% sure. Do not even try to guess that until unless you are not 200% sure. I have seen a lot of students writing sections just to know, that is just a guess in their mind. So okay, it's 134, it should be nearby CSR. No, it's not nearby CSR. It does not have any relevance to CSR. Okay, so mention that section if you are 200% sure, then explain that section. Then write along with facts of question. So what I have done over here is I have written all the important facts. So first of all, I need to write about that what does the MOA and AOA alteration clause talks about. He is over here at MOA and AOA, he is looking for section number 110, that is postal ballot. After that, he just want to check that does that student, of course all of us know about that how we need to alter MOA and AOA, how you need to alter that what kind of business shall be initiated by the company itself. We need to alter the objects, main objects, exactly. We all know that. That forms a part of executive level. Now here, he wants to know about this, that does that the student know about that by section, as per the section number 110, a company can alter its memorandum and articles of association only by way of postal ballot. It's not a private company, so it's not an exception, right? You have to keep each and everything in your mind and get it fulfilled with each and every topic. That is not a difficult task. I'll tell you how that can be done and how you need to present it. So this is one of the best ways to present that answer. If you don't know about the section, it's okay. Just write as per Companies Act. This is to be done only at few places, not in each and every answer. You can write as per Companies Act. As per Companies Act 2013. Just start writing. Section number 110 talks about postal ballot. Altering memorandum and articles of association has been mentioned in rule number, companies and management and administration rules. Each and everything needs to be carried over. And that can be done very easily. Let me assure you about that. That can be done very easily. Now, when it comes, this is all about, explaining a simple answer. I have seen a lot of students who used to make a mistake when it comes to case study. Let us suppose it's a case study. Okay, first of all, you should understand the facts. Facts should be understood up to the best. If you know about the case, then only after that you will be able to link that case to the case study. Okay, facts. After, always mention the name of case. Mention case law. How that can be done? Let us suppose it's Reliance Limited versus Competition Commission of India. I've seen a lot of students writing this versus as this or as this. What is this? Is this WWE? There is going to be a fight between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. What is that going to be? That is not a fight. Come on, that is a case. And please do not use short forms like this, CCI. Please avoid such kind of short forms. Let us suppose if you forget one of the name of the parties, you can write it as in Reliance Limited. In Reliance Limited. If you forget the name of one of the parties, if you forget it, you can write it as in a decided case law. Every time you are going to be below this, you will get your marks deducted. Just make sure you are not going to give any free mark to examination, any chance to the examiner to deduct it. So this is going to be the first priority, and I never used to prefer these index. This just generally happens when you, skip some topics, or when generally happens that we do not pay attention towards them. So this was all, and apart from that, let's go to the most important part. Sir, amendments. Will you be covering all the amendments? My dear students, whatever the amendments which are going to be there till 30th of June 2017, I'll be covering each and every amendment which is associated with corporate restructuring valuation and insolvency part. So, that amendments can be related to Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, NCLT, NCLAT. Apart from that, Companies Act 2013 and all the acts which are associated over there, all the amendments till the date of 30th of June 2017 will be covered over there. Got it? Should we go ahead? Got it? Should we go ahead? Okay. Let's go now. Apart from that, along with amendments, we'll be covering previous year examination questions. We'll be covering previous year questions plus important questions. Once you are done with each and every chapter, you can go to the scanner, you can easily figure out that we have covered each and every chapter. Now, here comes about study material. Sir, from where you will be teaching? We'll be teaching you people exactly from the study material itself. Study material you people never used to prefer because of language constraint and repetition of topics. So this will be considered as a base for us, and I'll be teaching you the same language, the same topics, all the relevant topics, plus, the language will be simplified. Language is going to be simplified. So what really happens with the module which is provided by ICSR, that is really cool. But the thing which happens is that being a student, what should I do with that when Second Industrial Companies Act was there? I know that really very well. It's okay. So what was the background? What I'm going to do with that? Second Industrial Companies Act is not into existence now. They are still teaching in the background. So whatever the relevant topics are going to be, we'll be teaching each and everything which is associated with corporate restructuring. Apart from that, the total language will be simplified, whatever I'll be teaching you. Okay, got it? And along with updates also. Updates and amendments. I know being a student, you people are very much curious about updates and amendments. So we'll be teaching each and everything. Okay, now here comes the most important part, sir. Doubts. I still remember when I was a student, I never used to have that much courage in my mind and myself so that I can raise a doubt. I can simply, just give me a moment. I can simply stand and raise a doubt. Sir, samajh nahi aaya. Sir, I didn't understand that. I didn't got that. How that can be done? Can you please explain it again? In a crowd of over 400 people, 300 people, 200, we have more than that students who are taking these classes at this scenario. So what generally happens? Sir, at that situation, I do not have that much courage. I always used to feel shy. I also always used to feel like with everybody going to make fun of me. What kind of questions? Is that a silly question? They are going to make fun of me. I mean, I'll feel like awkward. So be rest assured, whatever the question is going to be there in your mind, just make sure you raise that question here at Doubt Forum. Nobody is going to laugh at you. Nobody is going to do anything. That is an surety from my side. You can raise your doubt that can be a doubt related to foundation level. Raise that doubt. And please mention the subject and mention the topic as well. So that the same can be, I can look after that. Whenever you raise a doubt, first of all mention the topic, then mention the doubt. Or else it will be great if you can mention the chapter name also. So first of all, never feel shy to raise any doubt. The same thing I have been explaining each and everything again in drafting as well, that whenever you have a doubt in your mind, please just think like that I am the only person which I am there with you. I am just sitting with you next to you. Will you feel shy then? No, sir, you will not feel shy. You will not feel shy. You will just feel like, okay, I'm just sitting with you only over here. Nobody's over there. Just you and me. Now, raise your doubt. Did you get courage now? You'll feel like now, okay, I'm getting something like tuition classes. I'm getting something like my home classes. Exactly. You have that doubt forum. Doubts are there for doubt forum. So, I'll try to resolve your doubts within 24 working hours. Within 24 working hours. That is an surety from my side. I'll look after that. I'll try to resolve them within 24 working hours. If something wrong does not happen with me, okay? That is, I used to check that on daily basis. So there might be a partiality that some of them will get. Just by posting their doubts, and some used to get their doubts resolved after 20 hours. So it's okay. Within 24 hours, I'll try to resolve it. It's UK. Just do one thing. CR being technical, you can try to ask within 24 hours. Just leave it the working hours. Okay. I used to check that on daily basis. So there might be something like that. You have raised a doubt right now and I have answered that. There can be a thing like that you have raised a doubt and I'm going to answer that after 10 hours. That can be, I might be busy somewhere here. So now, sir, there are a lot of things which happens in India generally, which you know about mergers and acquisitions. That is Reliance plus Aircel. Some top mergers and acquisitions. Reliance plus Aircel. Apart from that, Tata Steel plus Chorus. They were into Tata Steel and Chorus is the world's biggest merger on steel. Reliance and Aircel was turned out to be the fourth biggest merger in the telecom service sector. Apart from that, have you heard about Axis Bank? Has taken over. This is one of the prevailing news at this time. Has taken over Freecharge. You know that? 300 and something crores or 400 something crores. Axis Bank has taken over Freecharge, which we used to generate. That Freecharge is basically a competitor of Paytm. You know that? Okay, let's go ahead. Now, Tata Motors. Tata Motors has basically acquired Land Rover and Jaguar. So that was basically a takeover and acquisition. So these are the things which we know. We know about such kind of things, but what happens when it comes to our mind and we know about that? We know about them. We'll be discussing now in detail that how that takeover can be done, what is the process, how the shares can be acquired. I'll be showing you each and everything along with top headlines, a lot of things as well. So being a technical subject, this is not going to be that much lenient, that much funny as drafting is. But that is for sure. This is going to be easy. Now, there are some things which we'll be taking from Companies Act. From Companies Act, sir, 2013, we will be covering some of the provisions. This is chapter 15 of Companies Act. Chapter 15 of CA2013, and this is specifically for my dear company secretaries, my dear future company secretaries, in which the chapter name is Compromise Arrangement. Compromise, Arrangement, and Amalgamation. Compromise, Arrangement, and Amalgamation. This forms a part of this total chapter over here, forms a part of section number 230 to section number 240 of Companies Act 2013. Apart from that, we'll be talking about section number 66, which is all about reduction of share capital. Reduction of share. What is reduction? Reduction is basically purchasing the shares of your own company beyond the limit of 25%. So apart from that, the next is section number 67, which relates to buyback. We'll be focusing on these two sections also, which are basically a part of Companies Act, and this part also, which is also a part of Companies Act. We will be focusing over this area as it is considered to be one of the most important parts. We'll just try to make sure that it will be very easy for us to score marks up to 60 and 70 at a very easy level. So now, the very last 2 to 3 minutes of my class, last 10 minutes of every class is basically revision or sum up of whatever we have covered in the classroom. So before coming to next class, sir, I am going to expect this, that before coming to next class, you have already seen the last 10 minutes. So that I am not going to revise the same thing again and again. Just make sure before coming to the next class, you are already done with the last 10 minutes. Okay? Got it? That's it from my side. Okay. Got it? So each and everything about the plan, about the parameters of the classroom, we have discussed that. If you have any questions in your mind, please raise them at Doubt Forum and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Okay? Now, you people are leaving. Hey, you people are leaving. You people don't want to know about your educator. I mean, that's not good, yeah. Even I want to know about you people. So what's your name? You can even send them. What's your name? What's your age? I mean, from where you people are. I used to get a lot of messages. So, my name is, okay, it's okay, I'm not going to be there on social networking sites all the time. Well, my name is Divay. If anybody is going to call me Divya, my dear student, I'm strictly going to block you from each and every bell, and you'll be called. If you are going to raise doubt now, I'm going to answer your doubt within 24 hours, but still, I'll look after you with my third eye then. It's Divay Miglani, and you are getting your classes from Divay Miglani. Well, my name is Divay Miglani. I'm a company secretary by profession, a BCom, MCom, and I have been pursuing 2 more things. So it's okay, leave it over here. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much. See you in classes now, and please feel free to ask any doubt. And see you in classes now. Please keep smiling and see you in class. Bye-bye. Bye.